everyone, it's Kale from Open Enso Dojo, and today I wanted to create a little video with a little bit of a representation for something that I see a lot of people falling into, which is a trap called what I like to call the all or nothing mentality, which is, let's say anyone's trying to make progress towards a goal, towards a new lifestyle, whether it's around food, whether it's around some kind of energetic cultivation, whether it's around meditating, whether it's around improving your relationships, anything along the lines of continuous progression. And they end up falling into a trap many times where if things aren't going perfect, they just kind of abandon it, go off on their own, get any temptations out of their system, and then try to start all over again, pretty much negating all their previous progress when there really wasn't any need to. So I'm going to create a couple of scenarios here. So let's just use some simple graphs. In this first one, this will be time, and this will be progress up here, right? So over time, ideally, as the days, months, years go by, you want to be making progress as you make time. Now let's say you're doing great, you start off with a New Year's resolution or something similar, and then March hits, and you know what? You falter. Maybe you start binging in one way or another on something you're trying to avoid, or other kinds of things. A lot of people will hit this point, and they'll say, oh, what the heck? I lost all my momentum now. I'm going to go ahead and might as well just start over, right? But most people don't just simply start over and continue from there, right? This would be great if they did this, because look at where they are already. But instead, people will say, oh, okay, I might as well just get all these things out of my system, If it's a weight loss thing, oh, I might as well binge on all that food that I was restricting myself, or, oh, I might as well, indulge in all kinds of things that I know are bad for me because, I'm not in improvement mode right now, I'm on pause, I'm going to start again. So not only do they hit here, but they actually end up going below where they even started, right? And now they're starting here. And not only that, but, oh, I want to take some time off, right? Let's say January to March, and then they'll start again in April from down here, right? Now, April, excuse me as I go through my own axis here, and they're like, oh, I'm real motivated. Oh, and I'm going to go all the way to June. So I even went 3 months instead of 2 months this time, right? But then what happens? Oh, life happens, situation, something outside of my control, XYZ, whatever it is. Back down to here. And notice you're still below your starting point on January 1st. Sometimes, with weight loss especially, I see all kinds of people, how many people know someone who is trying to lose weight and they're already kind of at a healthy weight, and they get into a mindset that's like, oh, but I could lose that last, 15 pounds maybe, or that last 10, maybe even something more extreme like that, last 10 pounds, last 5 pounds. And at the end of all their dieting, they're in an unhealthy weight when they started in a healthy one, right? So this type of mindset can really lead to that. And so again, even though this person went an extra 3 months, now they're all the way down here. And if they repeat this process, which I see all the time, and sometimes they even take several months off. Sometimes they take much longer. Sometimes they binge harder, right? And go longer. And what this creates, before they finally get motivated enough again to start right here, in June or July. But look at the trend of this graph, right? I mean, this is not what you want. This is the opposite of progress, right? This is making your positive change into this vice and all the other mental problems that come with it, which is just like, oh, I failed. How about people who feel failure or guilt? you know, all these different points. And no one is celebrating this. Look at that progress. Look at that progress. So people are building up motivation to break out of this just to get knocked down again. These are the streaks of the all or nothing mentality, right? Oh, it wasn't perfect, so I'm going to try it again. Or, oh, my streak reset to 0, so I'm just going to, in a little while, I'm going to start again, even better. But if you look at the trajectory over time, and a lot of times it isn't getting better, it's getting worse. So that's the first scenario I want to present today. Man, this is not being as effective as it was earlier in erasing. And I'm sure that shook the camera a lot, guys. I'm sorry. All right, so let me create another scenario here. Same graph, right? That's progress, and that's time. And the progress is, arbitrary and not so easily measured. That's another thing to consider, right? It's not just about number of days on a specific protocol. So same scenario, January 1st. We go up to March, same person, right? Making incredible progress. In March, they have a slip up of some form of another, right? It may be self-induced, it may be situational, it may be a one-off, it may be some resolve or some kind of thing slipping. But instead, this is the point that's really important, right here. This is where everything matters. Do you want to be one of the people who just decides to self-sabotage progress, not realizing that they're really going below where their starting point is? Or do you want to be one of the people who focuses on the positive, right? Focuses on all the benefits. Look at this. Look at all that progress. You should be proud of yourself, right? Do you believe that you're, doing better and have created some better habits here than when you were here? I mean, you should. Look at that slope. Look at that positive progression. So instead, focus on the positive. Focus on, hey, I'm still so much better off than I was here, and continue. Right? Oh, it's June now. I want another 3 months, maybe slightly even longer period, and I drop again. Maybe I drop a little bit further even. Maybe June was even harder. Right? This point means everything. What are you going to do at this point? Look back to where you were in January and look to where you are now. Even from your March low there. And look. This is the decision point again. If you can catch yourself here or here or here, that's great. That's something you learn and develop over time through practice. But if you're practicing giving yourself this hedonistic indulgence phase, whether it's in food or anything else, when you know it's not healthy for you, focus on creating a graph that maybe this one's too steep, maybe this is too extreme for your personality, right? But you'd be still better off doing something that's less aggressive, but steadier, right? Or even less so. Right here, boom, boom, boom. But look, when it comes to the end of the year, look at how much progress you've made from the bottom. That's pretty cool. That's progress, as opposed to the first scenario where you're actually going negative over time. And you're focusing on, I'm making myself better, but you're not realizing all the negatives of those other periods. So I just wanted to bring this and a little bit of an illustration. I call it the all or nothing mentality, and I think it just, no matter what your goal of progress is, don't let the all or nothing mentality prevent you from constantly focusing on improvement. Mistakes happen, slip-ups happen. Don't reset your progress to 0. And a lot of people don't realize that their progress isn't going to 0, it's going to negative because of how long or how much they undo mentally or how much they just abolish their goals and their mentalities. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you find this helpful. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.